Yeah. Morning all. So myself, I'm Vijay. Like I hold 17 plus years of experience, which includes nearly 8 plus years of experience in Python environment. So my experience includes design, development, and implementation of Python and Django based applications. Well versed in implementing different Python libraries, right? Like NumPy, Pandas, CP, Matplotlib, URLlib, etc. So before I start, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear, whether the screen is visible or not, right?
Yes, sir, you are audible and the screen is clear.
Yes, it is clear.
Fine, thank you. So as part of today's demo, I'll be covering the following topics. So for your general queries, I'll be giving time for you at the end of the session. So why Python? Why Python? So already we have got many other programming languages. And Python is not a kind of technology which is very recently introduced. It was introduced in the year 1989. Why all of a sudden Python has got a great boom? Reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular, right? Okay, especially from the last 3-4 years, right? Python has got a great boom, and reasons why it became suddenly super popular, right? Even though it was introduced from the last 30 years. And who can learn Python? There is no prerequisites, right? For learning Python, anyone can update with Python. The Python statements look like normal English statements. They're not as complex as other programming languages. I'll brief you by taking some examples and comparing this Python code with other languages, right? You can check how simple the Python statements, coding wise, length wise, complexity wise. You can just compare this Python code with other programmings. Not even 1/4 coding. If 1/4 coding you see, right? Yes. How Python was built by taking the advantages and features from different programming languages. It has taken different features from different programming languages and it was built. Python real-time applications. What kind of applications are we developing today by using Python? Python mostly used for developing what kind of applications? Python usage. Who are using Python today? And companies using Python and topmost applications built using Python. And Python features. Python features, right? Yes. As compared with other programmings, and Python comparison with other programming language. And reasons why Python is suddenly super popular. And Python scope and job market. The current job market of Python and the scope of Python in the coming years, right? Yes. So why Python? So I define Python in 5 lines. It's a general purpose programming. It's a general purpose programming. General purpose programming means any, okay. So before Python, there were some programming languages. If you heard about the programming languages like Pascal, Fortran, COBOL, right? These languages we call like purpose-based languages. They are used for a specific purpose. Pascal for complicated mathematical applications, Fortran for scientific applications, COBOL for business applications. These are used for a specific purpose. Purpose-based languages. They are not used for all the purposes. It's for only particular purpose. But a language which is suitable for developing any kind of application, such a language we call it as general purpose programming language. Python is such a kind of programming where we can develop any kind of applications like web applications, automation applications, animation applications, gaming applications, embedded applications, desktop applications, right? In this way, wide varieties of applications we can develop today by using Python. So Python is widely used today in implementing different domains in different high-end technologies, right? So if you see like data science with Python, big data like Spark with Python, PySpark, like writing automation scripts in DevOps in AWS, and writing automation scripts, right? Within this IoT robotics, right? The different high-end technologies, Python is chosen as the implementation language, right? It's a general purpose, any kind of application you can develop. It's not purpose based, right? Yes. Multi-programming features. Multi-programming means, I give a labor example. For example, if you want to launch a new product into the market, right? If you want to launch a new mobile phone, assume, to attract the customers, right? If you embed all the features of different other mobiles into a single piece, right? So attracts the customers. In the same way, Python is a kind of programming where we see the features of different other programming languages within it, like procedural oriented features, object oriented features, scripting features, modular programming features, right? Yes. Because of which we call Python as a hybrid language because of multi-programming features. And Python is a high-level language. Python is a high-level language, right? Yes. 1 second. Python is a high-level language. There are two types of languages. Talk about, right? There are two types of languages. Low-level languages and high-level languages. Secondly, like high-level languages. Low-level and high-level. Low-level languages, right? Example, like assembly level language or machine level language, right? Assembly level language or machine level languages. These languages are not human understandable. They are not human understandable. They are not human understandable. Secondly, they are not portable. You cannot carry those. And they are machine dependent. They are machine dependent. They cannot machine dependent. They cannot run on all the hardwares and all the operating system, right? High-level languages, right? Yes. High-level languages. Python is in high-level languages. They are human understandable. They look like normal English statements. They are portable and machine independent. Machine independent, can run on all the hardwares and all the operating system. Human understandable, portable, and machine independent, can run on all the hardwares and all the operating system. Interpreted language. Python is a interpreted language. Line by line execution we are going to see, which makes debugging easy, right? So we have got languages like compilation languages. See, we have got like the compilation languages. And I've got interpretation languages. Compilation example like C language. Interpretations like Python. Here, if you got some lines of code, if you got some lines of code, it executes the entire code at once and displays any errors, if any, right? But in Python, it won't execute the entire code at once, statement by statement, interpretation, line by line execution. If you get error in this, it won't execute the remaining statements. So it's interpretation, line by line execution, which makes debugging easy. User-friendly programming or programmer-friendly programming, which provides simple syntaxes which looks like normal English statements, right? This Python syntaxes looks like normal English statements. So it's a general purpose, any kind of applications we can develop, multi-programming, right? Like it has got multi-programming features, high level, like human understandable, portable, and machine independent, can run on all the hardwares and all the operating, interpreted line by line execution, user friendly programming or programmer friendly, which provides simple syntaxes, right? Yes. So what are the features Python has got? What are the features Python has, programming features I'm talking, right? Yes. Python has, right? Mm. Procedural oriented programming, right? That's got procedural oriented programming features. Example like C language. It has got object oriented programming features. It has got object oriented programming features, right? Example like C++, Java. It has got scripting features. It has got scripting, like example like shell script. Example like shell script. And it has got the features of modular programming, right? Like modular programming features. Modular 3, that is. So just like C language, we can develop applications like C++, Java, like scripting, we write many automation scripts like modular 3, right? Yes. So because of this multi-programming features, we call Python as a hybrid language. We call it as a hybrid language. As part of our course, we'll be discussing procedural oriented with Python, object oriented, scripting, and modular programming with Python. So it doesn't mean that you need to have the knowledge about all these languages. No. So everything I'll be discussing from the scratch ground level to the advanced level, right? The Python syntaxes are a little different as compared with other programmings. Yes. So if you talk about this Java, right? Yes. Python and Java are the two major programming languages which are used to create enterprise applications, right? So the Java programmers or developers are strictly restricted to use only object-oriented programming. Without object-oriented programming, there is no Java programmer application. But in Python, with object-oriented, without object-oriented, with procedural-oriented, and with modular programming, we can develop different varieties of applications. And if you compare like Java, if you go back like 10 to 15 years, like 2010, so the language which was mostly used in the industry, right, with 43% usage, Java. In the same 2010, if you talk about Python, most of them doesn't know that there was a programming language like Python. That's just 3% used in the industry. Python, right? So later, in 2010, right, I was talking about Java, 43% used, and here Python like 3% used. Yeah, same if you go back like after 10 years, like 2020, so the usage of Java, like it's 19%, the usage of, see, like 2020, right, the usage of Python increased a lot. The usage of Python has increased a lot to 31%. I'll just show you some graphs. I'll open Google and I'll show you, right, some graphs, the usage of different languages, right, in the, which is the popular coding language, the number one ranked programming language, Python. Python is number one ranked programming language today, with many different applications creations, mostly used in different high-end technologies as implementation language, right? And we write many automation scripts today by using Python and modular programming. Because of this modular programming, you see like great boom today for Python because it is providing nearly the concept of modules, nearly 89,300 modules Python is providing for different domains, right? Yes. 89,300 inbuilt modules Python has got for different domains. If I talk about these modules, right? Python has got modules. It has got modules for different domains. Modules, for example, for data science. For data science, Python is providing separate modules like NumPy, CP, Pandas, Matplotlib, right? Nearly 10 to 15 modules Python provides, using which we can perform that operations, data analysis, visualizations, predictions, right? Even for big data, right? Python has got separate modules using which we can perform these operations. So I'm talking about separate modules. Okay. Even for big data side, we have got separate modules. And even for, if you talk about testing or test cases, yes, separate module. And for networking environment, networking, right? For networking, not only that modules, it's separately a framework itself Python is providing for this networking applications or network programming. And for operating system OS kinds of activities, right? We can write Python code to create directories, to remove directories, to create files, to remove files, renaming files, everything you can do right by writing Python code. And even for every database, Python is providing a module. For every database, it provides a module with using which we can easily connect with any database. Like Python to connect with Oracle, right? Like CX_Oracle module required. Any, like if you're connecting to MySQL, PyMySQL module is required, right? So it's very simple, Python connecting with any database, not like other programmings where you need to have the knowledge of drivers, right? But okay. SQL Server, right? PyODBC is the module in which Python can easily connect, right? For every database, Python provides a module. It supports all the databases, right? And even if you want to work with separate files like Excel files, by writing Python code, I can create an Excel file with whatever name you provide, at whatever location you provide, it gets created, right? Later, if you want to add multiple Excel sheets into that, by writing Python code itself, right, I can perform all those. Yes, in not only like in database also, right? Just by writing Python code and executing, go and check the database, the table gets created, data gets inserted. For every file format, for Excel file, CSV file, the name of the module itself is CSV, comma separated values, right? Yes. For XML files, separate module. For PDF, we can easily generate PDF files, right? We can create PDF file using Python. How to read data from it, how to write data into it, right? Even like JSON files. Today, like most of the time we see data in JSON, JavaScript object notation, key value notation, and even for mathematical operations, even for statistical operations, many modules Python is providing, right? And for generating different types of graphs, normal graphs, bar graph, histogram, scatter plots, stack plots, pie graph, right? It's very simple generating graphs using Python. We have got modules, right? Like matplotlib, where we can easily generate graphs. Okay, fine. Yes. What kind of applications are we developing today by using Python? Python real-time applications. Python real-time applications, right? Yes. So before you update with any technology, you need to know more. It's mostly used for developing what kind of applications, right? There is no yes, Rana, there is no prerequisite for this course. You can update, right? Anyone can update with this. So Python mostly used in creation of web applications, right? Lot of web applications we are developing today. Lot of web applications we are developing today, right? Yes. So Rana, you can ask your queries, general queries at the end of the session, right? I'll be giving time for your general queries. Web applications, Python mostly used in developing web applications, right? Lot of web applications we are developing today using Python. Immediately you may ask, from last 20-25 years, Java, .NET, all this, they are mostly used in developing web applications. Why again Python? So Python has got some powerful frameworks like the Django, right? Django, we say, at a rapid speed, you can develop web applications with very less coding. It has got its own database. It has got its own server, right? Application server. So it has got many flexible features provided by this framework. So today, this framework mostly used, yes. So for developing web applications with very less code, right? And at rapid speed, you can develop web applications. And today, like Python, mostly used in automation applications. In automation applications using technologies like data science, using technologies like IoT, using technologies like DevOps environment, right? Python mostly used. We talk about this IoT, Internet of Things, the physical network or device embedded with software, sensors, electronics, used for exchanging data, collecting data, controlling the things from the place where we are, right? Yes. Should have seen like smartphones. You should have seen like smart TVs. We're going to see like smart homes and smart cities using this IoT and data science and AI, right? In a simple way, if I say IoT, it's a electronic devices connecting and communicating with each other, right? So 90% of the coding what we see here, right? In Python. Apart from this, in data science, it deals with the data or data science, like used for data analysis, data predictions, data classifications, data clustering, data recommendations. So it's a blend of techniques. The main technique what we see in data science, ML, machine learning, right? Machine learning, we have got many machine learning techniques, right, available, like regression, classification, clustering, recommendation, pattern matching techniques, right? For all these techniques, for all these algorithms to implement, we require a language. So Python is the mostly chosen or mostly used programming for implementing this ML algorithms, right? Where Python provides many modules for plottings, visualizations, data analysis, right? Yes. And even in DevOps environment, writing automation scripts, Python is one of the best scripting language with vast varieties of libraries. And apart from that, one more major area where Python mostly used in big data environment, right? Today you see like data not only in KBs, right? MBs of data, gigabytes, terabytes, petabytes, exabytes, zettabytes. So terabytes, right? So on. So you should have seen KBs, MBs, or GBs, or even TBs. But today, like petabytes of data is getting generated. Petabytes of data generating. 1 petabyte, 1024 TBs. Examples of petabytes of data generation means, yes. Take example of Facebook. In a minute, how many posts and videos are getting circulated? Facebook has got users throughout the world. In a minute, how many posts and videos are getting circulated? What is the data generated by Facebook in a minute, not in MBs or in GBs? So if I take 1 minute transaction, so huge data is getting generated, right? Take example like Facebook, Twitter tweets. If you take example of Twitter tweets, and if you take example of Google queries, right? Yes. And if you take everyone creating your own videos and uploading in the YouTube, and you are uploading in the YouTube, right? YouTube videos upload. Yeah. Or if we take about millions and trillions of users using email messaging, right? Yes. Email messages. And here, email message. What is the storage capacity to store all the messages, right? Huge data. And if we talk about email messages and bank transactions, telecom transactions, or e-commerce transactions like Flipkart, Amazon, right? Everywhere we see like huge data in petabytes, right? Petabytes. So for that, we have got some big data tools like big data Hadoop, big data Spark, right? If you talk about this, they are using languages like Scala, languages like Python. So this big data Hadoop Spark, they are using languages like Scala, Python, right? Yes. Hadoop and okay. Okay, fine. Okay, we have what language? Okay, Spark with Python, especially Spark with Python, we say like PySpark. Spark with Python, we call it like PySpark. Yes. Okay. So even yeah, big data, right? Using Python like Spark with Python, we say like PySpark, right? Okay. I'll just brief you the other applications where Python is mostly preferred, right? Yes. In scientific applications, right? Yes. Even for scientific applications, we have got models like the CP, scientific Python, and for numerical analysis, right? For numerical analysis. For numerical analysis, we have got model like NumPy, right? NumPy, numerical Python, NumPy next. Okay, for big data applications, for scientific applications, for numerical analysis, and even for GUI or animation applications, GUI animations, right? We have got modules Python providing like PyQt, tkinter, right? Yes. Okay. And apart from this, Python is also used for game development. A lot of the games are getting developed today by using Python, especially for game development, right? Python providing separate frameworks like Pygame, PyCara. These are the separate frameworks given by Python, right? For developing games and for 3D games, PySoy, some 3D rendering libraries like PySoy, right? Yes. And apart from this, Python mostly used for, right, even for scheduling tasks where Python provides Airflow, and for testing or for test cases, right? Yes. For test cases and for software development, right? For software development, even software developers make use of Python as a support language, and Python used for business applications to develop e-commerce websites. Python is one of the best choice, right? And even one of the hottest application of Python, like the database applications. Without database, there is no application, no web application, right? Yes, Python can connect with any database and it has. Okay, database applications, right? For database applications, so Python is one of the best choice for developing this. And apart from this, Python also used for networking applications, right? Especially for networking applications, it is providing a framework like Twisted Python. It's a framework given by Python for developing networking applications, and even for web scraping data from different sites like Flipkart, Amazon, from this, right? We scrap the data, right? We have got models like BS4 URL models, right? And even Python used for audio and video applications creations, right? Already we have got some famous uh, applications which already got developed, like Team Player, C Player, some of the examples, right? Where this audio and video applications, and even for embedded applications, right? Embedded applications. The most famous embedded application, Raspberry Pi, right? Raspberry Pi, which uses Python for its computation, and even for civil environment like CAD or 3D CAD applications, computer aided designing, right? You've got models Python provides. And for computer vision, for face detection, color detection, object detections, right? We use Python. And even within the robotics with Python, we have got huge packages, big packages, right? Like nearly like 40 lakhs packages available for robotics with Python, and also like desktop applications, single user or console applications, right? We use Python. These are some of those examples, right, where Python is used mostly. So these are what kind of applications, right? Yes. Okay, fine. And who are using Python today, right? Who are using Python? Who are using Python today? Topmost applications, right? Built using Python. So if I say like Google using Python for its web search systems, Python is Google is one of the best example for Python web application, right? That Google web crawling is first written in Java. It was rewritten in Python, right? Next, YouTube using Python for its video sharing service. Yahoo using Python, right? Uber using Python for Uber pricing algorithm implemented using Python, right? Instagram built using Python. The prime reason for Instagram to choose for Python, it's Python practicality, its hybrid features. Even today, NASA is using Python for its research and development activities because of Python multi-programming features. And apart from this, Python is also used in different other applications, like if you heard like Quora, built using Python, Reddit, Pinterest. The popular OTT platform Netflix using Python for its security, automation, and subscription related things, right? MMOG, massively multiplayer online games, right? And Maya, a powerful 3D animation which uses Python scripting, right? Yes, BitTorrent using Python for its file sharing service, right? Apart from Python, Python is used for iRobot for military and commercial applications, right? Yes. And for hardware testing purpose. So some of these companies like IBM, Seagate, Qualcomm, all these, they use Python for hardware testing purpose. This way we have got many companies are using Python today. Fine. Now, reasons you may ask from the discussion what we had. Reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular, right? Reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular. Yes. Yeah. Most of the programmers or developers are attracted towards Python or migrating towards Python because of its very less coding you see in Python. Not even one-fourth coding as compared with other programmings. 100 lines of Java code we can write within just 15 lines in Python. 15 lines of Java code we can write in 3 to 4 lines in Python. I will take a task and I'll try to show you, right? The coding wise, length wise, right? Complexity wise, how this Python statements as compared with other programmings. Simple syntaxes given by Python. Simple syntaxes, right? Given by Python. Looks like normal English statements. Multi-programming features, hybrid features, we say. And one more important, Python supports interactive mode. Interactive mode means we can easily interact with Python statement by statement. For every statement, it gives response, right? Sorry. If you go to this command prompt, CMD, and if you type Python here, if it is already installed, right? Say enter. It will display the version 3.11 version Python and 3 arrow symbol like Python interpreter, right? 3 arrow symbol, nothing but Python interpreter. All right, we can write any valid Python statements. Here just we see we can easily interact with Python statement by statement. For example, 3 plus 4, if we say, it gives the output. 1 plus 2, 45 into 23. X is 10, no need to define the data types. Y is 4. What is X? What is Y? What is X plus Y? What is X minus Y? X into Y. X by Y. X into 2. X to the power of 2, 10 square, 100. X equal to hello, any valid Python statements. X into 3, X into 5, prints hello for 5 times. If you say quit, it will come out of this, right? In this way, you can easily interact with every statement by statement, which you cannot see this kind of thing in other programmings, right? Interactive mode, statement by statement. If it doesn't know about any Python functionality, you can type in, check what output it provides. And wide varieties of applications, right? Wide varieties of applications. Just I brief you about all those applications. And many built-in libraries, right? Yes. So these are the reasons which makes Python super popular. Many 89,300 modules it provides, right? So with less coding, simple syntaxes, multi-programming features, interactive mode, wide varieties of applications, many built-in libraries, right? So I'll just open Google and show you, right? So popular coding language today, mostly used programming language today, and job opportunities, right, for which programming languages, right? So if I say popular coding language, just observe this popular coding language. Yes. Popular coding language, you can say, right? JavaScript, Python. So if you just observe this outputs for this, right? The most popular programming languages. Observe this. The most popular programming languages. Python stands first. Next comes JavaScript. JavaScript is not Java. Okay. So it's Python, next Java, sorry, JavaScript. It is this. Most popular, Python remains most popular programming language. Python, next comes Java, JavaScript. Okay. It is most popular programming languages. Python, JavaScript, next comes Java, the other programming. We see from 2021-22, right? Even yes, 2021, if we observe Python, next Java, JavaScript, C++, the other things, right? In 2022, if you observe, most in demand programming languages of 2022, based on LinkedIn job postings in USA and Europe. Python, next Java, JavaScript, C++, right? Yes. Observe this, most popular programming languages used by top 25 unicorns. Python, next Java, JavaScript, right? I was discussing right the percentage of usage, right? Percentage of usage of Python. See the big circle, you can see 31% Python, Java 19% I said, C++ 10%, C 6%. The various other programming languages used in the industry, right? So Python, if you observe, taken some features of C++, taken some features of Ruby, taken some features of Java, right? In this way. Yes. Okay, even if you see job opportunities in Python, right? If you see this average salaries and job opportunities, right? If you see ranking based on rank by volume of job openings, Python and SQL, right, stands first in that volume of job openings, and ranking by average salary, right? Python, next comes JavaScript and Java, right? Ranking by average salary. And even if you see the jobs, if I just type Python jobs, right? A lot of jobs for Python today. Python jobs, say enter, right? 1,55,187 Python openings. Naukri. 1,000 plus Python developers jobs in LinkedIn, right? Indeed. Apart from this, people who go for Python, right? Even if you update with Python framework like Django framework, right? Even people people might be knowing it. Very recently Python is introduced in your academics also, right? But you might be okay, you might be knowing Python, right? But people who knows the Django framework, Python framework are very less. People who has command, the two people who has command on this framework is very less, right? But you see that the Django jobs. If you say like Django jobs, right? That is a framework. So just observe this. If you go with full stack Python, if you go with the Django, that is after Python, like if you are just even updating with this framework like Django, right? As of now, people who knows Django are very less. See this jobs for this 24,453 Django job vacancies in August. 1,000 plus Python Django jobs. You can also go with Django jobs, right? So the framework of Python, which is mostly used for web applications creations. So the competition is less as of now for Django, right? People who knows Django are very less. So, okay, Python jobs, Django jobs, right? Yes. And if I see the course content, what we are going to discuss, you can see we have got very big course content, right? We will be discussing Python core advanced and application oriented models, right? Related to different domains. Python basics, history, applications, features, advantages, versions, installation, comparison with other programming operations like interactive mode, batch mode, editors, IDs, data types, constants, variables, comments, type conversions, comments in Python, escape sequences, strings, different types of operators in Python, IDs. In real time, we use IDs, right? I'm going to show you on most of these IDs like the PyCharm ID, Spider ID, Jupyter Notebook, Eclipse, right? Anaconda distribution like Anaconda prompt navigator, right? And basic Python like flow control statements, looping statements, strings in Python, strings like string indexing, string slicing, string functions, string methods, string special characters, collections like list, tuple, sets, dictionaries, list operations, list properties, list functions, nested lists, list addresses, list modifications, right? Different ways of creating lists. Similarly, like tuples, sets, Python dictionaries, functions in Python, different categories, different types of arguments, default, non-default, keyword, non-keyword arguments, variable length arguments, and different types of functions like lambda function, map function, reduce function, right? Modules in Python, what is module, different types, import, normal statement, right? Packages in Python, errors and exceptions, right? Errors and exception handling, right? Types of errors, compile time, runtime, exception, need of exception handling, predefined exceptions, finally blocks, nested blocks, handling multiple exceptions, user defined exceptions, file handling, right? Yes. Right, types of files, opening a file, closing files, reading, appending, object-oriented programming concepts in brief, class, object, inheritance, polymorphism, static, non-static, constructor, destructor, garbage collector, method overriding, regular expressions in Python, extracting required data from the given data, right? Database connectivity, database connections, Python database connections, installation of one database I'll be showing you, and the Python connecting to database, different operations, and transaction management, date and time. So I'll be showing you models related to different domains. Some models related to database, some models related to regular expression, some related on date and time, some related on operating system, some models related to data science, like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib model, some related to like big data, some related to graphics, some models related to OS, right? Advanced concepts like iterators, generators, closers, decorators, web scraping, GUI programming, graphic programming, Excel workbook, data analytics, introduction to data science, Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib. And coming to this, people who choose for full stack, right? The Django framework in brief, right? What is the Django MVT architecture? Web frameworks, the Django installation, the Django architecture, application creations, views, the Django templates, the Django admin, the Django models, advanced concepts like, okay. And UI technologies also for web development, right? You need to have the knowledge on UI technologies like this also will be covered. I'll be covering this also in brief, HTML in brief, CSS in brief, JavaScript in brief, right? Yes, and also MySQL in brief. This is what as part of this Python full stack, right? Yes. So observe this like Python. So in Python, Python core, Python advanced, Python application oriented models. So this only for Python, I'll be spending nearly 70 hours course, 70 hours, right? Yes. Means nearly 2 months to 2 months, it takes around 2 months. So the course fee is just 5,000, right? 5K. So it's an offer batch. It's an offer batch, right? Yes. It's just providing for 5,000, 70 hours. You will get a great command on this Python. Nearly 350 plus code examples we'll be discussing, right? And apart from this, people who go for full stack, right? So along with Python, UI technologies, web technologies, right? Web development. So people who go for full stack, right? They go like HTML will be covered, CSS, cascading style sheets, JavaScript, and a part of Bootstrap, right? So this you'll be given knowledge on this web development technologies. And apart from this, people who go for framework, the Django framework, right? So here 15 to 20 applications development, 15 to 20 applications I will be showing you, right? You will be doing parallel along with me for this Django framework. And apart from that, one project. For all this web development, Django and project, right? It's so this also takes nearly 50 to 60 hours. The fee is 7K for this. But combinedly, if you take as a package with a single, right, you can just pay like 10K, right? For total full stack Python, it's like 10K. You take as a package Python full stack, right? Where you will get Python, web development, Django, all this, right? Fine. So, okay. So 70 hours plus 60, 130 hours, right? You will get a 3+ years of experience person, a 3+ or 4+ years of experience person, how much knowledge, that knowledge you are going to get, right? So that days will be from Monday to Friday, Python Monday to Friday. And this also takes 2 months. Python takes 2 months, and this remaining everything takes 2 months. Totally, if you go for full stack, it is 4 months. Only Python, it is 2 months. And but if you want to complete everything within 2 months, that also possible, right? If you want total full stack, Monday to Friday, you can go for Python. But Saturday and Sunday, they are weekend classes. 2 hours on Saturday, 2 hours on Sunday, right? Yes. For this web development and this Django, right? Means you may ask immediately Python starting, we doesn't have knowledge on Python, how to go for Django? We'll go for the web development, right? Immediately Django won't be discussed. Web development, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, where we doesn't have any knowledge. 1 month it takes for this, right? Nearly like we'll be discussing 1 month on this. Okay, weekend classes for this Python. For Python, there are no weekend classes. Only for this framework, we have got weekend classes. Fine. So that is what. And what are the offerings, right? Like you'll be getting, every session is video recorded. You will be getting the recorded video and soft copy of the notes, class notes, means assignments and tasks topic wise, right? And a WhatsApp group will be created for your technical discussions, right? If you got any error, no need to wait until the next class. You can just take the snap of it and post in the group. Anybody can answer it. I'll be answering, right? Yes. So if you got any queries now, you can go with your queries, right? Tomorrow and day after tomorrow also, you can attend the session to see more on this Python. Right? Tomorrow, same time, using the same link, you can follow to see more on this Python, right? So as it's a demo session, I was speaking most of the time. But in normal regular sessions, for every statement I type, you will be responding, right? What is the output, expected output? So like interactive live sessions, it's an online batch. Fine. So at any point of time, you can unmute yourself and you can be free in asking queries or doubts during the sessions, right? Now we can go with your queries if you have got any queries, right? Anyone?
Hi, good morning.
Yeah.
This is the sir. Actually, I wanted to know, do you also teach PySpark?
Yes, I also teach PySpark with Python implementation, the big data, right? The big data analytics, Hadoop and Spark with PySpark, right? This Saturday at 5 o'clock, 5 p.m. There's a big data batch where Hadoop and PySpark both will be covered.
Okay, and you majorly concentrate on PySpark or Scala Spark?
Scala and Spark also separate batches are there, but now
Okay.
currently like Previously, Spark and Scala was mostly used, but now in the industry, going with Spark with Python implementation, PySpark. More concentration will be on Spark with Python implementation, PySpark, right? Where PySpark has got support towards this ML libraries also, right? So that.
Okay, and what are the charges for that weekend batch? That 5 p.m. you said?
Yeah, 5 p.m. where now Hadoop and PySpark both will be covered. It's 12K, 12,000.
12K. Okay, and also I wanted to check, is there any recording that you provide only for this Python courses on like the first module that you said? Because my requirement is to get trained in the Python first and then learn the big data technology. So if I go with the live classes, it will be very late for me.
Yes.
So I wanted to check.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can see right in the chart panel, right? You can see this message given by the online team, right? They have given their contact details. You can contact for that videos.
Okay,
Access, right?
thanks, sir. Thank you.
A big message is given by the online team, right? For the payment details, only Python it is 5K, total web development package is 10,000, where for class, videos, access and soft copy of the materials, their contact details, and the payment process, other things, right? Yes. Yeah.
But they have not given any recording charges, like recording in the sense
That you
whatever
can
the
call,
old batch recording.
you can call and you can just talk to them,
Okay,
right?
sure, I'll do that.
So yes, Ratna, right? Rana, yes, sorry. So weekend classes not for Python, for frameworks like Django or this web development, you'll have weekend classes. But everything for Python, it's weekday classes, same. And one more thing, let me make you clear about the timings before you go for the payments, other things, right? This class timings, right? As requested by most of the students, even the next 3-4 days like demos will be at 7 o'clock, but actual class timing of this is at 6 a.m. in the morning. It starts at 6 o'clock in the morning, 6 to 7, right? Because people will listen to the class and go to their offices and to their colleges, right? So 6 to 7 will be the timing of it. So make it, I'm saying before you do with the payment, right? Right, make that clear timing. So first 3-4 days, the demos going at 7 o'clock. Or later it will be at 6 o'clock in the morning. Right? 6 to 7. The timing of this batch will be 6 to 7 from Monday to Friday. Yeah, any other queries, right? If you're preferring for any evening batch, there will be a batch after 1 week or 10 days, there will be a batch at 9 p.m. in the evening, 9 to 10. 9 p.m. to 10 p.m., right? Yes. Fine. Okay. Any other queries? So you can attend the session.
Yeah, myself, Sandeep, just have a question regarding Python with AWS. We have a course.
No Python for AWS. There is no course at all. You won't see any course like a Python with AWS anywhere, right? So you will update Python and you will just use that Python scripting within this AWS, right? So some
Yes.
modules are there like Boto 3 module for those AWS.
Correct.
So you need to know how to work with modules, how to import, different ways of importing, renaming, reloading. Tomorrow session you observe, right? Just I'll give one example of this module, how to explore, how to get the properties, functions of a particular module. So with that you will get means in our session we'll be discussing more how to see this domain specific modules you won't get along with Python software. We are separately, we need to download and install like data science related modules, AWS related modules, big data related modules, everything we are supposed to download and install separately. They won't come along with the Python software. 89,300 modules won't come along with Python software. We need how to download, how to install, how to explore, how to use, how to import, how to rename, how to reload, and how to get one by one function. How can I get help on each and every functionality present within the module that we will be learning in the course, right? So tomorrow I'll just give you some examples, right? Even without any knowledge of Python, how simple and easily you can understand Python, right? That are examples of sample examples, codings of Python, and that I'll take a code and I'll try to compare it with different programming languages. You can see, right? And people from non-programming or zero programming, especially, right? Tomorrow session you observe. I'll just show you the codings, some examples, other things. So there is no prerequisite, I said. You can, everything I'll be discussing from the scratch, ground level to the advanced level, Python core to advanced level, right? Yes. So it's not 45 hours course, it's 70 hours course, right? So even just getting the output is not the criteria here. You need to work with your own, how to build the code. So for that, assignments and tasks will be provided. You will be writing your own code. Fine. So if I'm done with your queries, if there are no other queries, I'll sign off for now. Meet you tomorrow, same time at 7 o'clock tomorrow with the same link, right? Thank you all for your time. Thank you. Meet you tomorrow.